courage she showed in introducing, advocating for, and signing marriage equality right here in Washington. And what better way to thank her for her service than by standing up for the next great governor of Washington State, Jay Inslee. We've got more work to do here in Washington, and Jay Inslee is the governor we need to help us do it. And of course, Senator Maria Cantwell. She is a strong of equality. Senator Cantwell has been with us from the very beginning, and we need her back in Congress, alongside Senator Patty Murray, for another term, and I have no doubt that Washington voters agree. Woo! This evening, I want to share a story about an 18-year-old young woman that I met in Little Rock, Arkansas, my first day on the job as HRC president. Her name is Alexandria. At least that's the name given to her by her Pentecostal father and mother. The only problem is they only know part of her. And Alexandria is certain they could never love all of her. Because you see, Alexandria is a lesbian. The family she loves would disown her. The faith community she grew up in would reject her. These are the thoughts that run through her head every day. Maybe they sound familiar. It's painful to live only half a life. So every chance she gets, this young woman gets in her car and drives more than 100 miles to Little Rock. When she steps out of that car, she's a different person, living under an entirely different name, Alice. Alice has her own separate Facebook page, and she hangs out with her own group of welcoming and accepting friends. In Little Rock, Alice can live open. But she knows it's only temporary. When she walks back through her parents' front door, walks back into the closet, just imagine the strain with every person she talks to, or place that she decides to visit, or with every email or text message she sends. She's made aware that only part of her identity can be on display. Alice can't write laws by herself. She can't manifest a tolerant faith community on her own. All that she wants is acceptance. And she'll do just about anything to find a world that treats her with the respect that she knows in her heart she deserves. For this young woman, life is split in half. It's far from the life she dreams of, but right now, it's the best that she can do. In my first 3 months on the job, I've told this story a lot because it stuck with me. Alice's individual courage tells a familiar story, and it contains within it the spirit of our entire movement. Make no mistake about it, it's our job to stand up for Alice, and Americans just like her across this country. Our goal is to one day, not long from now, live in a country in which individuals don't have to lead a double life, to be embraced by their family, welcomed in their faith, or honest with themselves. Unfortunately, our adversaries at the ironically named Family Research Council, or the ridiculously named National Organization for Marriage, have never been more dedicated to standing in the way. They want to maintain second-class status for LGBT people. From opposing anti-bullying measures, to blocking workplace non-discrimination laws, to amplifying extremist voices in communities across this country, their message of hate and intolerance is clear. Here in Washington, they know the tide is turning on marriage equality, so they're dead set on making their stand on Referendum 74. Year after year, the ballot box has been used to send a message to all of us, including people like Alice, that some things are just off limits for people like you. But my friends, I've come here tonight with a message. Not this year. This year, with your help, we win in Washington and across this country. After all, it was a bipartisan majority in the Washington State Legislature that sent marriage equality to the governor's desk. Tonight, we honor the work of dedicated public servants who fought to get us this far. I want to especially thank Senator Ed Murray and Representative Jamie Peterson for their tireless efforts in support of marriage equality, as well as all of our allies in the legislature. HRC is proud to stand with the Washington United for Marriage Coalition to help defeat the discriminatory and hateful effort to stop marriage equality here in Washington. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the amazing leadership provided to the campaign by HRC board member and campaign chair Lacey All, and our and to especially acknowledge our campaign manager here in the state, Zach Silk. The campaign team here is doing an incredible job, and we want to thank them tonight for their dedication. Of course, the campaign has been backed by some truly incredible corporate leaders. McKinsey and Jeff Bezos have led the way with their individual commitment to this cause. And in just the past month, Expedia, REI, and T-Mobile have joined an impressive list of companies that includes Starbucks, Microsoft, Farmers Insurance, Alcoa, and Nike. Proud of our families. This support makes all the difference, and they have our sincere thanks in this room tonight. Whether it's here in Washington or in the 3 other states with marriage initiatives this year, I assure you that HRC is standing shoulder to shoulder with our state partners, committing staff and financial support with victory as our ultimate goal. Our adversaries have bragged that marriage equality has never won at the ballot box. This November, we take that talking point away once and for all. In races nationwide this fall, we're going on the offense. With your support this year, we send President Barack Obama back to the White House with a full equality policy. We need to re-elect President Obama because he has signed as many laws supporting LGBT equality as Mitt Romney's had positions on LGBT. And when it comes to protecting marriage, the choice is clear. President Obama wants more committed, loving marriages in this country. Mitt Romney wants fewer. LGBT people have never had a more effective advocate in the White House than President Obama. And I can't wait to see Tammy Baldwin working alongside him as the United States Senator. These are all big goals, but they're only as big as the moment. We have an enormous obligation as the current generation of LGBT advocates to wage these fights with an eye towards the future. HRC has been here in Washington from the beginning, from the legislative battle on marriage equality to today and through Election Day. Now, I know what you're starting to hear. Washington United is well-funded. The polls look good. Our ads are finally on the air. So I can just sit back and let other people carry it across the finish line.
No way.
Well, friends, I've been there before. I was in California during Prop 8 where the alarm bells sounded far too late. In just the final weeks of that campaign, the very same anti-gay forces poured tens of millions of dollars into fear-mongering attacks that were nothing but lies. A year later in Maine, another well-funded campaign saw their numbers evaporate on election night. So I leave here tonight and give this challenge to all of us. We cannot slow down. We cannot be complacent. Remember, we've lost 32 out of 32. I believe that we'll make history right here in Washington